Yeah, sure, sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I mean, I've come to Paris many times over the years. I came to Paris with my stepfather, and it was really nice just being in this area, seeing the Eiffel Tower and all the landmarks.
What would you say is the main reason you have become one of the most monumental players in the history of this game?
I mean, I think it's a combination of being in the right environment at the start, definitely having a brother who is a very competitive junior player, having a stepfather who was teaching chess to many kids in New York City. I don't think without that fundamental, basis, I would have been able to even get into the game the way that I did. One of the reasons I think a lot of players never became very strong is that you had to travel to Europe at that time to compete in tournaments. Nowadays, there are tournaments in St. Louis, Charlotte, Chicago, etc. In my time, that wasn't a thing. I think it's more that you have to have a very supportive and loving family. I mean, I think definitely I wasn't born with it. I think if you're very successful at the beginning, you don't really learn how to persevere. And so you go and you improve and you become very good very, very quickly. And then as soon as you hit sort of the wall where you stop improving, it's very hard to overcome that. And so in my case, I definitely was not the most naturally talented. My brother was someone who was vastly superior to myself. David, are you living in Norway or living in London?
Yeah, mostly Norway.
Okay.
I spoke to David a little bit and I asked him to describe your style in the very early years, and he said you were very aggressive on the board and maybe also a little bit aggressive off the board, very competitive. I mean, was it a little bit like Hikaru against the world?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think certainly when I was young, I was able to use that to my advantage, very much having that fire of trying to prove people wrong from being a young kid playing on the internet to getting to International Master, getting to Grand Master and so forth. I found a way to use that as self-motivation. If I didn't have that mentality, I never would have gotten to where I was. I remember at some point after I'd become Grand Master, my stepfather, it's kind of an emotional comment, but he said to me that basically one of his dreams was to see me play in the Amber tournament, before he died, basically. And, of course I accomplished that. I played, I think, the last year that it existed. But more than that, it's kind of like that was like a goal. It wasn't anything about becoming top 10, becoming world champion. It's just to see me play in a tournament like that. And when there are certain goals like that, if you can succeed or get to that point, it's very special. I was happy that my parents were able to go to that tournament. It's one of those memories that I hold very near and dear to my heart. When you play chess, one of the loneliest feelings is that everything you do is on your own. When you win games, you feel great within yourself, you feel amazing, but there's no one really to support you. If you're lucky, you have a spouse or a girlfriend. You want to feel like there's something more that you're doing. You don't want to feel like it's just your own accomplishment. Okay, so I'm gonna start by playing Logozar. Let's see how this goes. Should be When I did start streaming, I did find a community of people who were very supportive.
CD, ED, Rook D6.
Who it was more about the competition and seeing what I was doing versus the actual result.
Explosive.
That was probably the first time that I had that sort of support. I'm very happy right now. My life is very good, and I think when you're with someone who supports you, it's a very good feeling. I'm married to Atusa, who's very, very nice. She's quite the opposite of me. She's a far calmer person. It's important to have someone in your life who can sort of be a counterbalance to the way you are. I think you need the yin and the yang. A lot of my recent credit as far as professional chess goes, I would give to her. Everyone I think mellows out over the years. My goal was basically to retire from chess by the time I was 40 years old. That has been on my mind a lot in recent times.
Oh, then it's time to retire. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, when we get down to seconds, I just blunder. Yeah, something's wrong with my brain. It just doesn't work the way it once did.
I've seen so many players who remain in the game of chess. I see many of them where they're in their 50s or 60s, they're struggling, they're unhappy, and they're of course well past their prime. The idea of just playing chess because I love the game or just sticking around doesn't interest me. I kind of want to go out on top. Norway chess will be very, very important. If I play well, I'll definitely be around for a bit. If I don't play well, we'll see. Candidates is probably, as far as classical chess goes, the only thing really that interests me. It's not about the money, it's not about the ratings or anything else. The way I look at it is I have one, maybe two more cycles at most left in me. If Norway chess doesn't go well, it's extremely unlikely that I'll qualify for the candidates. And at that point, what's really left? And to be clear, when I talk about classical chess, one of the great things is there's much more rapid and blitz, there are online tournaments, there's the Esports World Cup, and freestyle, obviously. So I have no intention of stopping that, at least for the next 3 years. Just because I talk about classical chess doesn't mean everything is ending.